practice it every day, and say when your spouse wants to give it, don't question him or her. Because that's where her spontaneity is coming. Or his spontaneity is coming. Do not question any of those things. If you want to feel like giving it to the temple, give it to the temple. Do not question what happens to that money once it is given also. Because once you start questioning, then it's gone. You want to bring that spontaneously. We are very passionate about the things about which we are associated with. I love my child, but I'm not able to love all the children that is there in the world. I'm passionate about certain aspects of my life, which I do. When it becomes universal in nature, then I become compassionate. I come full circle. You turn your passion into compassion. To the things or to the events to which you are a total stranger. Automatically what will happen? Your level of awareness will start to rise. It will roar. And once that little flame gets lit inside, we have our gas burners in our house. We have a little pilot. The moment you set the trigger, that thing will roar like a raging forest fire. And it will take you to dizzying heights. It will just take you. Life, you will just engage with everything. So at no point should you feel that you are alone in this world. At no point should you feel that, what am I going to do and things like that. So last time there was this question that came up. If I feel sad when I'm practicing this, so should I say I'm not going to feel sad from now on? No. If you're feeling sad as you're going through this journey of life, feel sad. If you feel like crying, cry. But then what will happen is, you will start feeling sad, angry, or crying with great awareness. It's very funny. When I used to get angry, I would forget that I'm getting angry. And that anger will stay inside me for like 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, and things like that. And I didn't know about it. But then once the level of awareness started to kick in, the cycle time, or sometimes as I'm getting angry itself, I would tell myself, I'll be laughing inside myself. Look at myself, I'm getting angry. You will bring that level of awareness. Or when you're starting to cry, doesn't matter. Generally in this country they say men are not supposed to cry. I cried. Cry. Then it's funny. Hey, look, you're crying. You kind of make fun of your own self. So from the 2 months ago, I said I will share that trick on how to overcome that. So here is that, the second tip. Practical. You don't have to do meditation, you don't have to sit down before here and do prayer or anything like that. You make a round trip from your home to, say, Walmart or Staples. And you buy only one thing from that store, a composition book. That's all. And you're not buying anything else. No makeup, no milk, no nothing. And you drive back home. The purpose of that trip, that round trip, is to buy that composition book and come back home. You're going to do that. Nothing else. No other side journeys. And say, for example, my nature is to become angry all the time. And remember one thing. Often when you get angry at somebody, it is not that you're having a party and suddenly decided I'm going to have anger inside me, I'm going to get angry at somebody else. If I'm angry, I am seething with anger for the past like half an hour or something like that. So I am impacted equally as much as the other person on which the anger is being thrown at. Okay? It's negative for both the individuals, not good. On the day you become angry, put down the date, September 2nd, and just say, I became angry. Just write it. You don't have to write a journal. This is not a journal where you write your internal secrets, why you became angry and blah, 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 or bitch about the other person. No, nothing like that. You just write, I am angry, period. It didn't matter whose fault it is. Whether it was anybody else's fault or my fault, doesn't matter. Continue this practice. So every time a day goes by, you will say, on September 2nd I became angry. Then I became angry on September 4th, and September 5th, 6th. You'll have this thing. I became angry, I became angry, I became angry. Right? Your pages will start to fill. Slowly, your level of awareness will start to grow. As you're becoming angry, or there's a road rage happening, if somebody cuts you or something like that, anything for that matter, you'll start to say, I'm becoming angry. As you write that, further down what happens is, how do I get rid of all these things? On the day when I apologize to the other person, I'm sorry, when I become angry, on that day, I will strike out the first time when I became angry. I'll strike it out. It does not matter whether who was at fault or, it doesn't matter. I just say, I'm sorry, I'm angry. I became angry. You go back to your journal, your composition book, strike it out. Then, once that first step you have taken, then on, whenever you go without becoming angry the whole 24 hours, you go back again to your journal and then you get to strike out your second one. The second time when you became angry. So then on, third step, on the days when you don't become angry and you also kind of apologize saying, I'm sorry, on those days, now you can start to strike out. Lo and behold, in like 3 months' time, you would have centered yourself. Your cycle time from when you start to become angry to calm yourself down, that period will start to crunch down. It will just collapse. Literally it will collapse. And then after that, you will not need the composition book. The composition book will just stay. Your composition book is inside you. So any other negative tendencies that one may have, you will say, let me go work it, let me go work it. So last time when we were talking about the negative children of anger, greed, fear, jealousy, envy, this is how you will conquer each of those 5 children, those negative children. Of all these 5 negative tendencies, jealousy is the most dangerous. Okay? Because anger, you can really feel it. But jealousy is one particular thing which you cannot figure it out. So you want to watch that. Because what I do not have, somebody else has, and things like that. That's one of the things that is very difficult to kind of conquer. Hence we go after anger, greed, and fear first. And later on, at a subconscious level, the jealous aspect will also kind of automatically go away. Automatically. You don't have to worry about that. But these are the 5 negative children that Krishna talks about. That when you have a desire, it's not wrong to have desires. Please understand that. A lot of people say, oh, to have desires is bad. No, you have a desire to become a lawyer, a desire to become a doctor. Those are all desires. Being attached to the fruits of those desires is incorrect, because that destroys an individual. So when a desire does not get fulfilled, we become angry, we become greedy, we become fearful. Or when we get those desires achieved, we become more and more, we want to have more and more of those things. We want to be possessive. Those are the things that is negative to an individual. And those are the things that we want to be watching. When you're in love, love being as a man and woman, when you're in love with a flower, when you're in love with something, anytime when you just hold it, the relationship will flourish. The moment you start to kind of want to control that thing, love is gone. The flower wilts. So as you do this, you will slowly, your negative tendencies, the 5 negative things that Krishna talks about in Bhagavad Gita, those things you will slowly start to conquer. So we touched upon in chapter 2 when we talked